What's going on? We back, Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Want to congratulate Grant Hill for being inducted into the 2018 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Most of the young guys today don't remember Grant Hill, especially in Detroit Pistons jersey. And for us that do remember him, we remember how great he was for the short span that he was. That he did play healthy, and Grant Hill was basically what LeBron James came into the league kind of as a walking triple double. They thought he was soft. Alonzo Mourning thought he was soft. That's the one real play that sequence of plays to step out when you talk about Grant Hill was him and Alonzo got in a scuffle. We had show Alonzo Mourning he wasn't soft when he played for the Heat, and he came back, crossed my man's over and banged on him. Grant Hill, when he was with the Pistons, was something so serious, man. I mean, he could rebound, he can get to the bucket, he can assist. He had never, he really didn't develop that jumper like that yet. But I believe if he would have went to Orlando healthy, with Tracy McGrady, he would have developed that jumper, man. But it most definitely was a pleasure having Grant Hill play here. He was a class act. He gave Detroit Piston, early 90s basketball or 90s basketball something to talk about because it wasn't really nothing to talk about at the time. Because we was in that transition phase from the bad boys to whatever, it came to be. But, he was special. They could say we wasted his talent. It happens. They say the same thing about Barry Sanders. They wasted his talent, but Barry got to an NFC Championship game, but Grant was a hell of a player, man. I remember him in Duke. People like Leitner, Leitner, but Leitner didn't live up to nothing in the league. Hill did. He was co-rookie of the year with Jason Kidd, and I thought he was going this way to be something like special, like very, very special. And people forget 90s ball, was different from it is today. This world's different. A lot of people today just thought they started dropping in basketball players and athletes, just in the 2000s. Basketball was better, especially 80s, 90s. Basketball was way better. The talent level from top to bottom to each team was way better, even with some expansion teams in there. But that's when you had real centers that could walk and chew bubble gum and that really can play the game. And Grant thrived. He really did. But he also contributed to the Pistons actually winning a championship. He was traded, sign and trade. We remember that for Chucky Atkins and Ben Wallace. And Ben Wallace was a very big part. Forget integral. He was a humongous part of the Pistons, winning the championship. Nobody knew the diamond in the rough we was getting with Ben Wallace. We traded him for Grant Hill. But Grant Hill, they thought he was going to recover from the ankle injury. He played on that hurt ankle in the playoffs, which was one of the stupidest decisions, that he made in his career, and whoever pushed him to that was stupid because, the Pistons weren't going to win a championship that year. Wasn't going to come close, so he should have just rested the ankle and went to Orlando, and he could have been legendary with T-Mac. But if he would have went to Orlando, would T-Mac would have developed the way he developed? That's another question to be answered, to be honest, because Grant Hill could have had the ball in his hand more than T-Mac did, and T-Mac probably never would develop into the force that he was. But that's that history. But we got Ben Wallace out to trade, and Chucky Atkins gave us some production, very productive minutes at times. But Ben Wallace was the big part of that trade, and getting him here, and he kind of helped mold the culture into that blue-collar, going-to-work type Piston, attitude that we had. And then we got Chauncey. We traded for Rip, and the rest is history. We got Tayshaun, acquired Rasheed. We won a championship that year, and thanks to Grant Hill. Grant Hill didn't produce nothing in Orlando, but I just want to just do a video, congratulating Grant Hill. He was a class act. I mean, for that short period of time, he was the absolute truth of Detroit. And for those who remember it, man, we always rocking the Grant Hill feelers. That's probably the greatest shoe feeler ever invented. And it was Grant Hill's shoe as well. And but shout out to Grant Hill. In that short span, I just tell you, for him to get in the Hall of Fame, how truly great and phenomenal he was in that short span. He was a walking triple-double and a superb athlete, a super superb athlete. But we gone.